What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, you guys. This is season number 5, episode number 5, and this episode was titled Whitney Drew and Her Clues, you guys. Now, before we go ahead and get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop checking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, shall we? All right, you guys. So, this episode, interesting episode. Let me go ahead and get the one person out of the way that I really, and I mean really, do not want to talk about. And that is going to be none other than that nutcase Britney. When I tell you guys there is something legitimately wrong with Britney, like I don't know what it is about Britney. So we see Brittany in this episode, and Brittany went out with Jared. I was like, girl, you got to be joking, right? This is a joke. Nope, she said it wasn't a joke. I was like, oh, okay. So her and Jared are sitting down, and honestly, I was listening, but Jared, oh God, oh God, oh God. Brittany, Jared is playing you. He comes in trying to make it seem like he's all broken up and hurt about this quote unquote breakup that they had, right? And I was like, Brittany, are you falling for the okie doke? And she was absolutely falling for the okie doke. And I was just like, oh my God. I could not with Brittany. I couldn't. Like I couldn't. Like I couldn't. So remember, Brittany said that she broke up with Jared, but she didn't really break up with Jared. And I'm just like, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, right? So then Jared started talking about Lisa and the fact that Lisa had texted him, FaceTimed him, and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, huh? Again, Brittany, if you were a smart person, you would realize that Jared was gaslighting the hell out of you. He came in saying how he feels about you guys and the friendship, but then he flips it on you. And then you say in your interview with the producers that when it comes to Jared, the fact that he doesn't get up, he's still on the apps, right? When you guys are out in public and he's holding your hand and a pretty woman walks by, he drops your hand. I was like, Brittany, girl, how stupid are you? How stupid are you? How desperate are you for a man at this point? And so then Jared just ended things with Brittany right there at the table. I was like, you know what, Brittany? Again, I would feel bad for you, but honestly, I don't feel not a damn thing for you. Like I feel absolutely nothing for Brittany because she just is dumb as the day is long. But yeah, let's move on from Brittany, you guys, because I ain't had too much to say about Brittany other than that. But let's move over to Whitney. So we see Whitney. So Whitney, in the beginning of this episode, she was meeting up with Heather and Brittany, and they were on the slopes, right? So we found out that Jared had, when Brittany got back home, he had sent her some stuff like a unicorn and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh my God, girl, get a backbone, stand up. Like, I just want Brittany to stand up because, again, Jared is 1000% playing you for a fool, for a fiddle, for whatever you want to call it. But she's so happy and giddy about it. And I'm like, girl, why would you be happy and giddy about that? You are a fully grown ass woman getting excited about some shit that a teenager would get excited about. Girl, I can't with Britney. I honestly cannot with Britney. I can see why I can see why they reduced Britney, because I think that they felt like maybe Britney's storyline was fake. And I agree with the producers. Her storyline is fake as hell. So again, I am glad that they reduced Britney to a friend of. They could have reduced her even lower than a friend of. They could have reduced her to nothing. They honestly could have reduced her to not a damn thing at all. Because again, what the hell, Britney? Girl, you just look stupid and dumb and pathetic. More so pathetic than anything. It's just like, damn, girl, stand up for yourself, right? So Whitney is still in her feelings about the whole situation. Actually, no, Whitney's in her feelings now because she found out that once they left Milwaukee, I guess somebody called her to let her know that the gifts that she presented to the ladies, well, one gift was left in the trash, and it was by none other than Lisa Barlow, right? And so she feels a way about that. And she feels, oh, and let's backtrack to Brittany real quick. So Brittany feels that Lisa is too invested in her life. I was like, ma'am, you've announced everything in your relationship to this group of women. So, I mean, people are going to have opinions. Like, are you deluded? Are you deluded? But I think she is. I think she is. So Heather told Whitney that Heather told Whitney that it was actually Lisa who had brought up the whole thing about her jewelry, right? So now Whitney is in her feelings. I was like, oh, okay, girl, whatever. But Whitney feels like this whole thing was planted. I was like, it could be, but I don't think it is, because it's very coincidental that that picture that was from Alibaba in your picture, they're the exact same picture. Like nothing was different about them. So I don't necessarily know how this could be staged, Whitney. But I mean, if that's what you want to go with, then that's what you want to go with. But I don't see how it could be staged. But hey, that's what the girl want to go with. That's what the girl is gonna go with. And so later in the episode, we see her in the car with Justin, and she got a call from a podcaster named Adam. Now, I think I know who that guy is. I don't watch his channel, but if it's who I think it is, it's the guy Up and Adam. I think that's him. So basically, in a nutshell, Adam told Whitney that he found out who was behind the whole thing on social media. So he lets her know that it was Lisa that was behind it. Are we shocked? I'm not. But hey, that's it with Whitney. So we will go ahead and move on to the next person, you guys. And let's talk about Mary really quickly. Mary, very interesting with her son, right? I'm not going to even say nothing negative about Mary or her son. The one thing that I will say is just I just extend prayers for him, because clearly he's battling something. And I think the thing that he's really battling is drugs, right? And maybe even alcohol, but I know for a fact he has a drug problem, right? Because he's very you can when he came out of his room, Mary called him out of his room, he was very lethargic, like, and I was like, ooh. So Mary was asking him if he's ate, because she's getting ready to go to a dance class, and he asked her for some money for some, to get something to eat, right? Here's my thing. Oh God, like I just let me know what you guys think and feel, right? Because I get her wanting to support her son. I don't have a problem with that at all. The thing that I struggle with, right? I struggle with is, how do you support your kid, but then you also know that your kid is doing drugs? Like, how do you support that? That's an interesting line to toe. But yeah, I do feel bad. I really do feel bad for Mary, and I feel bad for her son. And like I said earlier, I pray for her son, and I hope he gets the help that he needs to kick that addiction that he has. So while we're on Mary, let's go ahead and move over to her good friend Angie. So Angie came to pick Mary up, and so they went to a hip hop dance class, right? And they also saw that Heather's daughter Georgia was there, right? So they spoke to her, and so now Angie is talking about this situation with she and Lisa, right? And Angie still feels a way about Lisa. And I had to go back to I went back to watch last week's episode, and I did watch some other people who reviewed the show and listening to what other people were saying about the fact that Lisa said mentioned her daughter Electra. Listening back to it, I didn't really, I did feel like Lisa took a low blow, but listening to it now, I don't really see it as a whole low blow, right? I look at it more so from the sense of, girl, you use your daughter to get off the phone with me. And if she spends all day on the phone with Lisa, then I don't have a problem with her saying, girl, oh, Electra, what you say? And then walk away, right? I don't have a problem with that. But also that interview look with the white. Angie, that was a no. Absolute no. So Angie is telling Lisa, not Lisa, she's telling Mary that she feels like Heather is taking Lisa's side, which she absolutely 100% is, because we'll talk about that in just a minute. But let's go ahead and pause here, you guys, and move on to the next person. I guess the next person we'll talk about is Bronwen, because I have a few things that I want to say when it comes to Bronwen. So this episode, it actually opens up with Bronwen. So we see as Bronwen and Lisa, so they are having a spa date, right? So I guess on their way back from Milwaukee, Bronwen had, showed Lisa a picture of her daughter, and Lisa was like, Gwen looks like Bronwen, and Bronwen was like, no, she actually looks like her father. And so Lisa, she showed Lisa a picture of her father, and then come to find out, Lisa knew Bronwen's, Gwen's father, his parents, right? And so they're just meeting up with each other, and we find out a little bit more about the father of her child, that the man passed away, right? And she said he passed away when her daughter was about 2 years old. So we also found out that when she revealed that she was pregnant, that his family blamed her. I was like, unless she, forced herself on him, your son was a willing participant and didn't use a condom. So I don't know how you can blame her. So then Lisa is telling her that when she got back, she talked to Gwen's grandmother, and they want to meet Gwen, right? And I was like, excuse you, Bronwyn's daughter is almost 18 years old. Y'all have had almost 18 years to try to meet this girl and get to know this girl. Those people can miss me with the bullshit. Like, I don't buy that. I don't believe that, right? Also, the Mormon faith is a very weird faith, right? That you guys would disown and cast your kids aside because of them getting pregnant and doing things that's not in line with the church. It is so weird, and that is why I think the church is a cult. Like, y'all can call Mary's church a cult, but the Mormon church is a cult as well, right? So later in the episode, we see Bronwyn with her daughter, and she and her daughter are having the same conversation. And so I guess her grandparents have reached out to her, but the text message that they sent, it didn't seem very warm and receptive. And I was like, I could have told you that. I could have told you that there wasn't going to be a warm and receptive text, especially with the fact that they blamed your mom. Those people, they're trying to fix and appease their guilty consciences, and I wouldn't be here for it. Like, absolutely the hell not. Like, fuck those people. Hell to the nah. So Gwen doesn't is not gonna have as of right now. It doesn't seem like she's gonna have a relationship with her grandparents, and I'm cool with that. Those people had, like I said, those people had 18 years to try to meet her, try to get to know her. Now y'all want to try to get to know her, girl. Miss meet. with the bullshit. So let's go ahead and wrap the episode up with Heather, you guys. So we see Heather. So Heather and Lisa, they went to like a salt cave, and so they're having a conversation with each other, right? And hold on, you guys, my bad. I am still on the clock, and my phone is ringing, and I'm not about to answer this phone call. Sorry, Mr. Linton. Oh, and I need to talk to that man. I'll call him. Well, hell, I have to deal with him Monday. But back to the show, you guys. So Heather is talking to Lisa, right? So she's talking about this whole situation between Angie and Lisa, right? So Heather feels that Angie is changing, and she also lets Lisa know that I guess either when they were in Milwaukee or coming back from Milwaukee, one of the two, that Angie still felt the way about the comment that, about call a lecture, right? And she was like, well, I raised my daughter, and basically throwing it up that Lisa doesn't raise her kids and let the video games raise her kids. I was like, yikes. Yikes. I was like, okay, very interesting, right? So Lisa is upset and pissed off, right? And she feels like that's a low blow. You guys tell me what you think. Is that a low? Well, that is a low blow. That is a low blow. Because again, you talk about her parenting. So yeah, it's a low blow. And it's, yeah, 100% a low blow. Can't even color code it, candy code it, nothing like that. It's a low blow. So then we see as Heather went zip lining with Mary, Britney, and Lisa, right? Surprisingly, Mary was really into the zip lining. And I was like, I would have never pegged Mary to be somebody that is into zip lining, but Mary is into zip lining. And Mary, so they sit down, right? Mary didn't know what tailgating was, so they had to explain to her what tailgating was. So they sit down and they have a conversation, right? So what I will also say is those boots that Mary had on, baby, them were some bad boots. Those gold boots that Mary had on were cute. So they sit down to tailgate, right? And they talked about actually Heather brought up the fact that Miriam saw Georgia. She's like, yeah. She's like, she was, and she said nice things about Georgia, right? So both Lisa and Brittany said, where did you see her at? And she said, oh, the wind blew her in and I blew her back, right? And they asked again, and she said, like I said, the wind blew her in and I blew her back. I was like, come on, Mary. Come on, Mary. But then they were talking, somebody finally said, I think it was Heather who said it was at a dance class, and they were like, what kind of dance was it? It was hip hop. She said she was doing a workout. And so then she brought up the whole situation with Lisa and Angie, right? So Lisa then brought up what Heather told her that Angie had said, right? And I was 100% here for Mary. Mary said, well, why didn't you call her up and ask her? I was like, oh my God, Mary, speak some sense into these women. Call the woman up and have a conversation with her. That's all you got to do. So then we move over to talk about Jared. I was like, oh my God, Jesus, take the wheel. Please take the wheel. So this woman is upset, right? She's upset with Lisa, and she's saying that Lisa is in her business and that she's making things worse with their relationship. Ma'am, it is not a relationship. That man literally called you his best friend. There is no relationship between you and Jared. I really, 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 really want you to get that through your thick ass skull, because this man is not interested in you like that. Like, my God, Brittany is so delusional. Like, I don't know. I'm glad that the producer decided not to bring her on as a full time housewife, because my God, today is something. really, really, really off with that lady. But yeah, you guys, let me know what you guys think about that. And so then she told them that to stay out of her business. I was like, girl, you bring your business to everybody for everybody to be in your business. So, girl, what the fuck? What the fuck? Can we never see Britney again? Like I'm really cool on not seeing Britney ever again. I honestly truly am. And that was really it with I think that was it. Oh no, that's not it. Because Mary, going back to them talking about this situation with this whole situation with Angie and Lisa, I love the fact that Mary called it out. I love the fact that Mary called that shit out. Because Mary said to Heather that she's always in the drama, and she even called Heather a liar because Heather's all about body positivity, but then here you are on Ozempic and all that stuff. I was like, oh, Mary, clock that T, clock that T. I was here for it. But yeah, you guys, that was the episode. That was the episode. Let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comment section below. And leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and also share the video, you guys. And I will see you guys in about 30 minutes for the Real Housewives of Orange County review. See you guys in that video.